Hey YouTube, so take two. Just got so hot and it's like my telly turned off, and instead of hitting the reset button I turned it off, so I had to do it again. Yeah, so here is no surprises for guests. Oh, this is another J-Pax guitar, very obviously. But I've kind of decided to do. I took this one away last week, 2 weeks ago. And just thought I'm going to start putting my stuff in it as well. So that's why it's got 5 pickups. And 3 switches. Not that complicated, and it was going to be much more complicated. I even bought more expensive, bought on switches, like 3 ways off Josie Warman for my ultimate plan for this. But to be honest, all I could think about was trying to do this video, trying to explain it to make it sound, especially someone who's after like an art guitar. It's like they're not going to understand what I'm talking about. So whenever I try and explain this to people, you can see their eyes glazing over after about 20 seconds. So I just kind of try to keep it simple. So it's relatively simple considering it's got 5 pickups. So as you can see, they've got green pole pieces as well. Cheers to Scott Grove for showing me how to do that. How do you do that? Well, it's a secret. Yeah, so right, so master volume, master tone. These 3 switches, when they're down the way, they're off, right? And what you have is basically a Strat using the 3 standard pickups with a 5-way lever, doing exactly what you expect. Nice and easy. This top switch here turns on the extra neck pickup. I'll call that mid neck. Call it extra pickup 1, extra pickup neck. That one turns it on. That's it. Along with whatever you're doing with the 5-way switch. You know, so if you're in position 1 here, which is the bridge pickup, and you turn on this one, you get this one. So it's kind of like your Dave Gilmour would typically hotwire it, put that pickup on, but this one does that as well, right? And obviously, whatever you do with the 5-way switch, it does whatever the 5-way switch would do, plus this pickup. The next switch down does the same for this pickup. So this one turns on bridge pickup 2, whatever we're going to call that one, extra pickup 2. And again, it works in combination with the 5-way switch. So that, if you've got 5 sounds on a Strat, right? So if you turn on this pickup here, you get 10 sounds because all the 5 sounds are still there, but all those 5 sounds contain this pickup as well. Which you can already see it's starting to get a bit interesting. What's it sound like when you get these 3 on? Yeah, in parallel. And then if you turn that off and then turn this on, you've got 5 sounds again, but with this pickup in it. And obviously, again, that's an interesting sound. It's not that one. Yep. Or you can have both of them on. So you get 5 sounds on the Strat with these off, 5 with this pickup on, 5 with this pickup on, and then 5 with them both on. So you can have, these 2 pickups, and you can have the middle 3 pickups on, or you can have this one, and this one. Yeah. So we're at 20 sounds just using the 5-way lever and these two switches. The third switch is my cascading megabucker, which I like. I just put that in a guitar yesterday as well. I think there's only a couple of guitars in the world that have that. Well, I assume no one else has ever done it before. I don't know. Seems like a very good idea to me, especially if you've got like a Strat where the thing you really want is, wouldn't it be nice if it had a humbucker in it? So provided your middle pickup's reverse wind, which in this one it is, what it does is when you turn on the bottom switch, when you're using the 5-way lever, if you've got it in the bridge position, it's not doing anything, it's still just the bridge pickup. When you go into the middle, it knocks these 2 and gives you a humbucker, puts them in series. And then if you go into the neck position, it gives you these 2 as a humbucker and this one as a humbucker, so you get a triple coil humbucker. So while you're doing that, so that's basically only 2 extra sounds you get by turning this switch on. You get a humbucker and a triple bucker. But, so that's 2 extra sounds, but you also get the 2 extra sounds with this pickup on, the 2 extra sounds with this pickup on, and the 2 extra sounds with both pickups on. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, plus the 20, so 28 sounds out of this. My plan originally, when I bought the on switches, was these were going to be, instead of being 2-way, just on-off switches, they were going to be on switches, which would have been pick up off, pick up on in parallel, and then pick up on in series. So you could technically have had a 5 humbucker thing, but it would take too long. And I've already got 28 sounds, so that would have upped it to something stupid. It would have tripled it or something. Aye. 28 sounds is enough sounds for a guitar. Yes. So, was there anything else I was going to say? I don't think there really was. Yeah, so I suppose I'll try and cycle through. I was actually, on the last version I put in a wee sort of reggae thing. Can't remember which sounds I used. I'm actually going to put bass on it now before I even play. 5 minutes in, why are there no drums? Because the bass amp's not on. There were drums, and there will be in a second as well. Missed some of the notes there. Yeah. I can't hear that noise at all. I'm using the tuner as a muter really there. Middle pickup, which I never use on its own. Add in this one. Both these on, and the middle one. So position 4. So that's really these 4 pickups all on in parallel. And the neck pickup, turn off this one, so it's this one and this one. Tube Screamer! Bridge pickup, and what's what we're doing? Oh, bridge, so bridge on this one, or just bridge on its own. then adding in bridge 2. I just put the strings on this. Neck with this one, so it's kind of like a Gilmore again. This one, this one, this one. That's actually just the neck pickup on its own. That's it there. So if I go into the bridge pickup, just the all 3 switches off, bridge position. Mega cascading mega bucker switch on, still on the bridge position here, so just exactly the same as it just was. Into the middle, humbucker. Triple bucker. Add in this one. Add in this one, so we've got all 5 pickups on. Yeah, so I mean, it's going to take me 28 minutes if I play a minute on each one, so I'm not going to do that. So yes, so this is us in triple bucker mode. Quite a warm, fat, creamy sound. Adding in the extra neck pickup. Makes it kind of brighter because you're putting like a cleaner sound in on top of the mega fuzz. But I'm talking about mega fuzz, why am I using the tube screamer, not the rat pedal? I'm now realising why I gave up on the last video. It's so hot! I even put on a black t-shirt that would match this, and I had jeans. I put my jeans on for the last video, and it's just like that just made my legs sweat. So currently my legs are sweating, but at least the sweat's running down the outsides of my legs. So currently we're using a sound that I don't think any guitar's ever done before. Or this one. Or this one. longer in bucker mode. So currently we're on neck pickup, and this one sort of Dave Gilmore, and that's the sweat dripping off the end of my nose. Oh, it's raining outside. Glad it didn't rain last night, because it turned out I left the windows in my car wide open yesterday because it was really hot. I remember doing it. It wasn't until I went out this morning and it was up here. Oh, that's right, I left the windows in my car open wide, so luckily I didn't do it now. It's raining, so it's one of those hot, thundery, rainy stuff. And saying that, the moon, I don't know if anyone was in Scotland and was about during the week there. What night was it? Wednesday night when I was driving back from Jen's. The moon was huge and blood red. And it was like thinking, I remember before it was someone was talking about it. It was sand from the Sahara getting blown up into the atmosphere. That's why the moon was that colour. Yeah. Which I suppose would explain why it's hot if the wind's coming from the Sahara Desert, which is, you know, in Africa, so it's not really that close to Scotland, but kind of explains why it's a bit hot. Just the neck pick up on its own. Making this one. Sometimes it's quite a subtle difference, but sometimes it makes quite a difference, and it is a difference. It is a difference, yes. So this guitar, I suppose it's not the first collaboration with Mad Malco and J-Pax, but it's the first one where I've actually done something stupid with the pickups. I think I might do it a bit more as well. It's not that difficult to do, and I've got lots of ideas. I used to get round it I used to do guitars called switch casters, which were basically the same as this without the paint job. Just putting extra pickups in and more switches, just experimenting, seeing what can be done, because for some reason nobody ever does this sort of thing. I don't know why. Maybe because it's stupid, but it's not stupid because the guitar's still there. What I'd learnt from doing this, first it was the switch casters, then I started doing the Bucky ones, which were basically the same sort of idea, putting funny pickups and strange wiring in them, but they get a bit synthesizer-y and a bit difficult to work out what it is you're meant to be doing when you've just got banks of switches. So my aim just now is to try and make it as simple as possible to understand what it does. And I don't think this is too bad with, if all these switches are down, it's a Strat, so you can always get back to just having a Strat. You're not end up sitting there going, oh, it sounded crazy, and you're flipping switches trying to make it sound normal again. So you know, put them all back, it's just a Strat. And then two switches, one to turn on this pickup, one to turn on this pickup, pretty easy. And then the cascading mega bucker's a bit mental, but it's a great switch for a Strat, because one of the things that's always missing, what I always feel is missing from a Strat, like, it's not really missing on an HSS Strat. You can't see the pickups now because they're black, but the HSS gives you the humbucker and the bridge, which means you can do the humbuckery stuff. When I was in band, I was in Cranking House, it was all original material. We did do some covers. For the original material, it didn't really matter what I played. It was fine whether I was using humbuckers or single coils. It just sounded different. The thing that really got me was we covered Judas Priest Breaking the Law. When you play that with single coils, it just doesn't sound like the record. You need some sort of humbucker to do that. Just because you're used to what it sounds like, whereas all the original material it didn't really have. There wasn't a definitive version. That's not what it could be. That could be a Strat, could be a Telly, could be a Les Paul. Not decided yet, just still messing about. But that does, I said, it does give you humbucker. I'll give you humbucker and triple bucker. I like the idea of the triple bucker, even though I'm not sure whether it's actually a more sensible idea just to have it as, when you're in the middle, it gives you these at a humbucker, and then when you go into the neck position, it gives you the neck. I've done that before I thought of, but I like the name Cascading Mega Bucker. Yeah. So this guitar is a Basque, apparently. I think this is faded a bit, and Jen might have to touch up these lines. I think they've actually faded since she gave it to me. But the scratch plate on its own kind of looks like a Basque, apparently, and but I thought a Basque was like a lobster? That's bisque. Something like that, but no, apparently it's like a girdle sexy outfit thing. You know, I mean, obviously I wear them all the time. I just didn't know that's what they were called. So, and I was like, if you're a Basque, okay, kind of, that's fine. It's like, I don't know if that's really what you want in a 5 pickup mega guitar, but yeah, that's fine. We call it the Basque, and it was up here. No, it's called the Basking Shark with a Q. Yeah, because I like Basking Sharks. Also, Jen's from Arran, so she's seen Basking Sharks because you get them in the Clyde. Like, probably seen them from the ferry and stuff like that. So I'm going to do another video of this. I think I'll just do it on my Facebook to try and explain, because it's like, trying to explain what pickups do is really hard. It's so much harder to explain than it is to just understand, and it makes perfect sense to me. And it's very simple. Does it sound simple? Are you following what this is doing? I mean, it doesn't seem that mental. There is a little bit of, it's a bit of a subtle difference sometimes, but that obviously changes if you're recording with it or something like that, or using a loop pedal. Suddenly having a different sound can make a huge difference. You notice if you ever use a loop pedal and say you're on your favourite pickup, the bridge pickup, and you put in, you know, a couple of chords like that in the back, when you play the bridge pickup over it, when you're overdubbing or like playing soloing over the top, you kind of get no balls to it because it sounds exactly the same as the chords, so it's like exactly the same sound you're using for the two. So if you change it to something else, suddenly it's like, oh, it sticks out much more. It's like, you know, in a mix because it's a slightly different voicing. That's what these could do, and it might find it in a mix or with a band, it could make quite a huge difference just because there's other stuff going on. You know, the more options you've got, the better. And as long as you can make it so you can turn them off. And I wanted to make this. The obvious way to do this is just to have 5 on-off switches in a line instead of the freeway. I've done that before. I did one. I used a quad rail. You know, like the hot rail, the humbucker side, single coil sized hot rail pickup you get, which is like, it's a humbucker, but it fits in a single coil cover. Well, I had 2 quads, which are basically like a humbucker with 4 coils in it. 2 of them and a dual rail, so I had effectively 10 pickups in a row. And then I had a Flying V, and because the Flying V's got a big extendy bit, I had 10 switches, all wired in series, so you could just click on whichever one you wanted, which kind of worked, but it's not super easy for flipping between things. And the same with the 5-way, if I just put 5 switches in, one of the things I want to avoid when I'm doing this is I don't want an off in that. So if you've got 5 switches that just turn on the pickups, besides it wouldn't give you the humbucker thing anyway, but it means that you could accidentally turn it off. So if you're playing your rhythm bit, going into the solo, and you accidentally select the wrong sound, well, that's not too bad. It might not be quite as loud as you want, or maybe not the sound you're absolutely after, but at least the guitar's still playing a solo. Whereas if you've got on-off switches, there's a chance that you're gonna, or if you bash the guitar or someone, you know, you knock it by mistake, it just turns it off, and you're just like going into your solo, bang, and there's no sound at all. Bad. I'd kind of avoid any sort of wiring system that you can accidentally turn the whole guitar off. But it's interesting. I mean, and as far as I'm aware, no guitars ever. I've never seen a cascading mega bucker in any guitar ever. As far as I know, I invented that. Maybe if you've ever seen anyone else do it, give us a shout. But I'm just going to claim it's mine anyway. That's quite good. That's just the original pickup. That's quite good. It's quite good here. That's different. That's kind of actually a bit more like a humbucker sound in it. It's not though. Just fattens it up a wee bit. I think one of the things with doing this sort of thing when you're adding in extra pickups, it's kind of like your actual sound wave is still there. It just adds a wee bit here. It changes part of the EQ spectrum. Your tone. And then you get humbucker. Okay, yeah, I forgot to plug. I've got a gig on the 23rd of September, after the end Black Sabbath tribute. I might put, going to start heavily going that. So if you get a chance to come to that, that'd be awesome. It's our first proper gig, like that I could actually invite people to. So if you're a Glasgow person or in the area, please pop along. I'd love to see you. That'd be great. It'd be good to get like a one up on the rest of the band up here. Oh, there's quite a lot of people here. It's like up here, yeah, 10 are here for me. Just for a gloating thing. You understand? Yeah, so I've not actually cleaned this up properly yet. Actually, one of the reasons I had to do it already was, it's like, I wired it all up and that without really checking to make sure the actual switches that were in it worked. So basically I had to take the lever switch to bits, and apart from the fact I was sweating like a moron, so I was sweating like an idiot, like I am just now, but it was worse because I was wearing trousers. My monitor there came up with it says like, oh, we're going to shut down in 10 seconds, and normally I go up and I hit, like if you press a button on it, so normally I press volume down. You see me doing it in the live streams all the time, going up and hitting the telly. That time I pressed off, so I turned it off and I was like, right. So I've stripped this switch and put it back together again. Now it's working, not intermittently, which was really annoying. Really what I should have done was clean the guitar and set it up before I put all the electrics in. I didn't do that. In fact, I didn't even do it before. I should have done that before Jen painted it. But so this guitar is actually an Encore, and I kind of took this as Jen got an awful lot of guitars a couple of weeks ago when we were away, and a lot of them were Strats. So I was like, right, well, I'm just going to take one of these Strats, Jen, right, and I'm going to do something mad with it, and I'll give you it back next week to paint. And she was like, yeah, whatever. So that was thinking, rather than it just being another Strat. And I took an Encore because I know they're pretty good. Very light guitar, but I figured putting more pickups in it makes it slightly heavier. But I mean, it is really lightweight. But I've had these before. A couple of the Bucky Castles of this guitar, and they're basically one of the guitars that I would go for if I was going to be looking for a guitar to, like, either for a beginner or for myself to do something stupid with. There's this era of Encore with this type of headstock that's dead light are good quality guitars. Not all of them are good. Some of them aren't. Encore's just another one of those companies that they didn't make guitars. They just bought them from a set thing. So depending on what era it comes from, I think this is maybe early 90s, something like that. But I knew it was possible to make it play. I knew it would play. I mean, to be honest, I've done sod all set up on it. I did set that. And I gave the frets a quick going over with a fret rubber, which basically just makes them not black. But the fretboard's manky, and I've not really. But there doesn't seem to be any high frets. It just seems to be working fine. The action's really low, plays really well. So if you want one of these, if you want this, I don't know how quickly this will sell. Some of them. Folk go mental for it. I noticed there was a lot of people on Jen's page asking, it's like, oh, how are you going to wire it and stuff like that, and Jen's like, oh, to be honest, I hadn't decided what I was going to do yet. But I've got some crazy ideas to do with guitars. Maybe not quite as mental as putting 5 pickups in, but now I've got those on switches. I've got 3 of them. I can do some crazy stuff. Like with a Strat, just with 3 pickups in it, I can make it do quite fancy stuff with an on. There is an option which I would have thought would possibly be the best switch to put in. Okay, you're completely you're not modifying the guitar, but you do have to drill a hole to take a toggle switch. But I can do one where you get like, it's kind of like the triple bucker in one. When you've got it forwards, in the middle it doesn't do, and when it gives back it gives the Gilmore sound, which I like that idea. The Gilmore sound's basically just the outside 2 pickups. Okay, this one doesn't actually do it, but you can get either those 2 or those 2, so that's 95% the same. You know, that's going to be 95% the same as that, and that, so, or you can get that. No, you can't get that. Not going down that rabbit hole. 28 sounds, that should be enough, and including all 5 on, even though you can't have all 5 on in parallel. But why would you want all 5 on in parallel? You just get a muddy thing there. Mentalness. So, the Basquing Shark, possibly getting finished off on Wednesday and could be for sale. This would be a good one for shipping to America because it's really light, so it'd probably be 20 quid cheaper to ship, because most of the guitars are going to America. Come on, Scottish people, what are you thinking? You know, it's like you're Is somebody making unique guitars? I mean, has ever seen a guitar that looks anything like this? No. Will there ever be another one that looks anything like this? No. You see people, going on about, oh, so I've got this limited edition. Oh, I've got a limited edition Gibson SG. I think he sold it actually. It was like numbered at 500. It was worth 5 times as much as a normal SG because it was limited to 500. Oh, limited to 500. Okay, limited to 1. The only one. And the thing about these J-Pax one is it's pretty obvious who it is that made them, because I mean, I've got, well, there's that and that. You can't really see them because the light's not shining on them very well. But I mean, I've got a fair few of them myself, and they all look completely different, but somehow the same. It does look like that. You can tell. Sorry, you can't see that one. You can't. There's a thing in there. Yes. No, so this guitar is awesome. I'm going to do another wee video trying to explain what it does. Just a wee clip from the start, just saying, this is what I see with the switches. Try and get it down to a minute. Something like that. No demo of the sounds. This will be the one with the demo of the sounds, even though I didn't demo all 28. That's for... Currently, just now, nobody knows. Maybe I do. I've not actually cycled through them all. So this guitar is capable of sounds that nobody in the world has ever heard, including me, because I've not cycled through all of them. So some of them, okay, they're only that much different from some of the others, but whoever buys this, you're going to be able to get sounds from this guitar that nobody's ever heard before. That's got to be worth like $1,000, isn't it? Just for that ability. What, you get a guitar that nobody's... Yeah. Cool, rocking. I'll see you tomorrow night's live stream, and it'll be a sweaty one, I think. I'm kind of I kind of want a bottle of Bucky right now to try and cool down. Oh, I've got ice lollies. I'm going to have a nice pull. So if you could like and subscribe, that would be super awesome. I'm not even going to bother with a live stream. That's me just getting demonetized again. I'm not even going to bother putting adverts in the live stream, so it doesn't... Maybe more of you will turn up if I don't have to do it. And if everyone could get... See, if everybody watched the live stream, although there's normally only like 20, 30 people on, that changes through the night. If everyone gave me like 50 pence as a super chat, I would make so much more money on that one live stream than I do for the rest of the month. So I'm getting like £30 a month for doing all these videos. So it's kind of not worth it, to be honest. Having to put the adverts in, because obviously they piss people off. And I'm not even allowed to... I even emailed up here. So what am I doing wrong? Why am I getting demonetized? I don't know. I think they're looking at the subtitles. Stick the subtitles on and see what it is I'm saying, because it's not what I'm saying. Rock on. Catch you later.